What's going on, family? I'm Scrapbookboxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. I want to continue to examine 100 years of World Championship fights. On the night of June 16, 1983, New York's Madison Square Garden was filled with 20,061 spectators who grossed $964,305. For the promoter Bob Arum, who, by the way, put together a card featuring Alfredo Esquivel. He defeated Gene Mad Dog Hatcher. He also had Billy Collins Jr., who had a record of 14-0, who was illegally knocked out by Louis Resco. He had a record of 20-8. Now, they originally anticipated a fight between Davey Moore and Tony Ayala. Didn't happen because Tony Ayala was convicted with a rape charge. So here steps in number 7 ranked WBA super welterweight contender and former lightweight champion, WBC welterweight champion, Roberto Duran. He was opponent for WBA junior middleweight champion from the Bronx, New York, Davey Moore, who, by the way, had a very good respect and rapport in New York. Roberto Duran was 32 years old on this particular day. And he stood 5'7". He weighed 153 pounds. He had a 66-inch reach, and he had a record of 76 wins and 4 losses. Incredible. Davey Moore was 24 years old. He stood 5'10". He weighed 154 pounds and had a 71-inch reach. He had a record of 12-0. He won that title on his 8th professional fight. Amazing. But unfortunately for him, he would be stopped in 2 minutes and 2 seconds of the 8th round. He would die June 8th, 1988. Very nice young man was Davey Moore. Let's take a look at the fight that took place between Davey Moore and Roberto Duran on the night of June 16, 1983 in New York's Madison Square Garden.
Is electrified as they get ready for Davey Moore. You see the numbers on him against Roberto Duran. Moore with a slight reach advantage. The poundage exactly the same at 152.5. Good look at the man that's trying to win the junior middleweight championship away from Davey Moore. That, of course, would be Roberto Duran. And there's a great look at the Bronx Bomber, if you will. That, of course, will be Davey Moore.
As you look around Madison Square Garden, people outside trying to get into this arena couldn't do it, and this is the hottest ticket in town, that's for sure.
After a great finish by Duran over Koed, as you take a look at Duran, who won that fight in the 4th round knockout, do you anticipate that Duran will try to come in smoking here early on Davey Moore? Can he afford to, Al Bernstein?
Well, Davey Moore has good power. He is really a powerful puncher. The criticism of Moore has been that he maybe takes a few too many punches, but I don't know that Duran can afford to just wade right in.
Madison Square Garden, where they had more people standing in the aisles and sitting down here tonight, trying to get everybody to their seats as Davey Moore battles Roberto Duran.
Now, you can already see what's going to happen if you have a good boxing eye. Davey Moore is not in the same class as Roberto Duran. Why do I say that? Because he's falling for the feints.
Duran's such a fine defensive fighter.
It will be interesting in the fact
Davey Moore's an outstanding fighter in the amateurs, and he did well for himself. He became a champion in his 8th professional fight.
Well, you wonder what that does psychologically. Davey Moore grew up in the Bronx. This is his hometown. And yet Roberto Duran comes in, and he is certainly the crowd favorite.
He would knock out Kevin Rooney. Kevin Rooney was undefeated coming into this fight with a record of 15-0. Kevin Rooney was the trainer for Mike Tyson. Rooney would be stopped in the 2nd round with Alexis Aguero. He would also defeat Koed, who had a record of 40-1. He would lose his junior middleweight championship belt. Sugar Ray Leonard.
There's the right of Davey Moore. That's the punch he wants to get home. He feels he can hurt Duran with that right hand.
Slight reach advantage, Al Bernstein. A good flipping left jab by Davey Moore will be important here tonight, won't it?
It will if he can land it. So hard to land that.
Oh, beautiful. That was a very good uppercut by Davey Moore. But before that, Roberto Duran did a nice left hook himself.
Comes strongly in on the champion.
This is an active first round, perhaps more active than some people anticipated.
First minute and a half was a waltz, and now it's suddenly turned into an up-tempo tango, to speak.
Davey Moore should be boxing Roberto Duran.
Both fighters have demonstrated their best weapons. With under 30 seconds to go in round one.
You cannot play cat and mouse with Roberto Duran. You do not have the experience behind you.
The champion, Davey Moore, his back to you. The challenger, Roberto Duran. Duran with a sharp left hand. We have the end of round one. Round two comes your way after this. Round one, a very active first round after it started slowly. It picked up in intensity, and now round two, anticipated by this capacity crowd at Madison Square Garden in New York to be more of the same.
Now, I was in the second row of this fight, but had I not seen this fight, I can already tell you the things that are happening and the traps that are being set and what Davey Moore is vulnerable to. There's quite a few things that is going to cause Davey Moore a problem. Roberto Duran is countering him massively. He's also feinting him. Davey Moore cannot anticipate the feints. That's a problem. You can also tell that Roberto Duran is punching a little too hard for Davey Moore to reset himself.
Trying to use his experience over 70 pro fights. Davey Moore, though a champion, less than 15 pro
He didn't anticipate this. He was originally scheduled to face Tony Ayala, younger brother of Mike Ayala. Oh.
Good right by both. Duran sends Moore back to the...
Now you see whose punch landed harder.
Tries to go after it.
It was Roberto Duran. Beautiful uppercut, left hook combination.
He forces him against the ropes once again.
Oh my God. So what's happening now, Roberto Duran is breaking down Davey Moore as early as the second round.
Round two. Punching back gag for Davey Moore, the champion. Roberto Duran waiting in. Both the left and the right have scored here in round two. There you see the left.
You could hear these punches at ringside.
Back with a good left right of his own.
Oh, beautiful turning around Davey Moore, and he comes up with a right hand himself.
But he is really taking shots from Duran.
That inexperience starting to show as Duran spun him into the ropes and went after him quickly.
Davey Moore should not be trying to slug with Roberto Duran, but he's trapped where he has to. Because he cannot get away from Duran. Oh, beautiful left hook to the body. To the floating rib.
It's very much pro Duran here in second round. Davey Moore, the junior middleweight champion, undefeated, but he's in there with a tiger now.
Oh, beautiful right hand to the body.
It's just tremendous in this second round.
Under 20 seconds of round two.
You know, Moore is landing that uppercut well, but it's just not having an impact on Duran.
Moore almost walked into another right hand. Duran hesitated for a moment, or Moore could have been out. He does not, and we close in on the final moments of round two. This slugfest from Madison Square Garden continues in a moment. Good look in the corner of Davey Moore as he comes out getting his instructions. At the end of round two, Al Bernstein, it was tough for Ernesto Morgana, the referee, to get Roberto Duran back into his corner.
Now, Davey Moore ran with Iran Barkley with a gang called the Black Spades. They lived in the Bronx, New York.
Davey Moore, good right. There is swelling around the right eye of Davey Moore, and that may have come from a thumb. It looked like Duran may have snuck a thumb in there.
Davey Moore has plenty of heart. The issue is he doesn't have the ring savvy of Roberto Duran.
Shots toward the end of round two, and it just didn't seem to faze Duran. Of course, he has
doesn't have enough fights under his belt. Oh.
Davey Moore trying to come at Duran, who's now back at his heels and throwing punches.
And the thing is, when you're in the second row as I was, you can hear Davey Moore grunting every time he's hit with a body punch.
Let me tell you, that right eye is becoming more of a problem here for Davey Moore. It's starting to close even more here in round 3.
I think there's blood from around the left eye as well.
Oh, my God.
And Duran is ripping those left hooks to the body. Moore is fighting him on the inside, not necessarily where I think...
You cannot fight Duran when you're getting hit to the body like that. You have to take your time, and you have to move around Duran while you still have the legs. Those legs will go within the next 2 rounds. Oh, my God. Beautiful hook off the jab to the floating rib by Roberto Duran.
And round 2, Moore almost resembled a punching bag, and here in round 3, Duran...
Right hand to the breadbasket.
Moore trying to counter.
And there's the hand speed of Davey Moore in the combination punching, but...
Oh, my God.
Roberto goes back to the
Roberto Duran is breaking down the anatomy of Davey Moore. This is the worst beating that Melded Taylor suffered in the fight with Julio Cesar Chavez, March 17th, 1990.
It's not that Davey Moore is not landing good shots, but Duran covering up a little more effectively and landing...
Because he's being destroyed directly to his organs.
Al, you can see a lot of fights, but...
This will affect you long term.
Getting into one as well as they have here through the first 3 rounds tonight.
Classic example there of Moore throwing a right and landing it, but Duran turning away just at the right instant to absorb some of the shock of that punch.
20 seconds to go in round 3. Other than the first minute and a half of this fight, which was rather lackluster, it has been...
As you can tell, Davey Moore's timing is now completely off because of the punishment he suffered on the inside.
They'll have to work on it on the corner at the end of round 3. Well, they have worked on Davey Moore in his corner. Cut does not look to be that severe as he comes out to answer the bell in round 4 and is met at center ring by Roberto Duran. Davey Moore, the junior middleweight champion, but he's in a fight with Roberto Duran, who wants very badly that title here tonight at Madison Square Garden.
Oh.
What a great deal of momentum Duran apparently has picked up since the Cuevas fight. Back in January, a 4-round TKO there. And now in with another toughie here from the Bronx, Davey Moore. And Roberto Duran, Al Bernstein looks like a
nice jab work
by Roberto Duran. Well, straight right hand. And what's more impressive is the body work he's done against Davey Moore. He has just been ripping the body. It's not that Moore is fighting that bad a fight. Davey Moore has landed the same kind of shots that
look at the feints
hurt other fighters, but
of Roberto Duran. He's causing Davey Moore to react.
That right eye of Moore is really bothering him.
When Davey Moore is not prepared, so this is important to study and watch.
Left eye giving him problems as well.
Absolutely.
And if you pay close attention to what Roberto Duran is doing, he's riding with the punches. Not being hit flush, he's going in the direction of the punches. And it looks like he's been hit hard because of the sweat of his hair. But he's riding with the punches.
Trying to get some long-range shots at Duran.
That will cause Davey Moore to continue to try and throw punches and exhaust himself and be countered.
In this round, Davey Moore landing some good shots, getting his jab in
while he's doing so.
Straight right hands, and Duran, I think, just taking a slight breather. But still, Duran works the body.
Watch the way their two heads are meeting quite with great regularity, and I'm not so sure that may not be where that cut over the eye of Moore did not come from the very veteran Roberto Duran.
Another low punch by Duran. This fight has been a clinic on illegal activity. There's an elbow from Davey Moore. And Moore's been hitting after the bell. Except for that, everything's been legal.
Under 30 seconds to go in round 4. Davey Moore trying to throw a wild right in. And here's that infighting Al's been talking about by Duran. Duran has done a lot of damage inside on the champion Davey Moore here through the 4 rounds. Round 5 comes your way. We'll continue with more in a moment. A very confident Roberto Duran, the challenger tonight to Davey Moore, the champion in the junior middleweight. And they answer the bell here for the 5th. Madison Square Garden. Really has not been too much more pumped up than it is here tonight. Duran has done a lot of damage to Moore through the first 4 rounds. Puffiness over the right eye, a cut on the left, and you see why with a sharp right off of that left eye again off of Moore. There's another right hand by Duran. What a clinic Duran puts on. The minute Moore tries to cover high, Duran goes to that body shot. Moore drops to the bench, and here comes Duran upstairs.
Oh, good body punch. Now, the problem Davey Moore's having also,
take that much away from Davey Moore, as Al, you pointed out.
He had surgery in his mouth.
Oh, he has, but yeah, that left took
a few days before this fight. Reminds me of when Ray Mercer had a tooth pulled.
Sure, Davey Moore thought going into this fight that he would
1 or 2 days before his fight with Bert Cooper in Atlantic City.
Not done as much damage as he anticipated.
Straight left,
and his jaw wound up being the size of a grapefruit.
Temple again.
Similar was happening here with Davey Moore.
Extremely tired here in the 5th. Kind of staggered in Duran there. As Duran, with a lot of punches, have done some damage.
Oh, good jab by Roberto Duran.
Straight left jab by Duran, waiting for that right hand lead again.
He's breaking Davey Moore down.
Face of the champion, Davey Moore there. Blood now coming from the mouth as well as over that left eye.
And the right eye is almost closed.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure that came from
he thumbed Davey Moore, did Roberto Duran. That's a thumb.
Whatever the case.
Now you see how he rides with the punches.
There was a good right hand. You saw Duran kind of turn away from it, absorbing some of the shock. There's another one. And
good combination, and Davey Moore is not catching Roberto Duran flush.
Straight up in the center of the ring, taking whatever Davey Moore can dish out here in round 6.
See how he rides with the punches.
Round 5.
And he stays on the inside pocket, and he breaks down Davey Moore when Davey Moore is at rest. What a beautiful uppercut thrown by Roberto Duran. And he always comes back with a left hook to the body. That's textbook old school boxing, 101.
Take even more of a measure of Davey Moore. Moore with a championship hanging in the balance here.
Oh,
that's round 5.
It's a beautiful feint
round 6 after
by Davey Moore.
Roberto Duran answers the bell for round 6. It's almost like a hospital report between every round from Davey Moore's corner. How long with the right eye? Keep from swelling completely over. How long with the left eye? Keep from bleeding too much. That's their big concern in the corner, as Roberto Duran just keeps coming on here in the 6th.
And all those problems for Davey Moore, the cut and the closed eye and all the rest of it, are a big problem, and an even bigger problem, I think, is the body work that Duran has done, which has slowed him down so much. And then you add to that the fact that Duran is doing a fairly good defensive job, and even when Moore thinks he's hitting him flush with those right hands, he's really not, because Duran is turning away to take away some of the
Exactly.
You saw a graphic example of that in the 5th round. He took almost 2 in a row, standing toe-to-toe with Moore in the center of the ring. Ernesto Magano, the referee, trying to keep him apart here.
Good body punch thrown by Roberto Duran.
Straight right hand.
Nice right hand thrown by Roberto Duran.
You know, there's one thing, Al Bernstein, as we closed in on the end of each of the rounds, Davey Moore probably has done as much damage after the bell is rung at the end of each round than he had inside the round.
He has thrown punches after almost every bell, and I guess it's in response to some of the low blows by Duran. And
Davey Moore found himself in the same trap as Sugar Ray Leonard did in 1980 in Montreal. Difference is Ray Leonard was able to get out of it because he was able to fight Duran back. Davey Moore is unable to do so.
Duran.
He's fighting back.
Al, I would imagine,
but he's getting
battered as Moore appears.
Battered in return.
6th round right now.
Good right hand thrown by Roberto Duran.
Duran, the strongest right hands he had. Frustration has to be felt here in the 6th. He said, hey, I've hit him with everything I've got right now.
Well, he just feels beaten, I guess. Can't hurt Duran at this point. He's taking the pounding. Even though he hits Duran and makes these rounds sometimes fairly close, he's just not hurting him.
Madison Square Garden.
Look at that excellent left hook by
Good
Moore.
punches thrown by Davey Moore.
And it's just not having an impact on Duran.
The man is still in the pocket.
Right hand by Duran up over the top on Moore's head.
Right hand over to the eye.
Champion tries to cling on.
Davey
Duran
Moore.
hits him with another right after they finish the clinch.
Can't land that right hand flush on the head of Duran. That's what he's been looking for.
Round number 6 closing in on the final seconds here. Duran with the left hand. Moore trying to wade in, throw as many punches as he can, but the infighting of Duran has been devastating. Closing seconds of round number 6. We'll be back with round 7, but right now let's pause for a moment. Junior Middleweight Championship. Al Bernstein, Davey Moore has been beaten and battered, but gamely comes on here in the 7th.
And Duran continues to use the jab well, and he has just battered the body of Davey Moore, not to mention his face, as evidenced by the cut and the swollen eye and the bloody lip.
A warning from the referee to Davey Moore for holding. Other than the first minute and a half of this fight, we have seen non-stop action by these two junior middleweights, with quite obviously, from the looks of Davey Moore's face, Roberto Duran getting the best of it.
Boy, a warning there with all that's gone on in this fight. Ernesto Magana has been taking kind of a laissez-faire attitude about refereeing this fight. He has just decided to let things go as they go.
Roberto Duran has used the infighting to his benefit tonight. Moore has been somewhat unsuccessful at keeping the fight at long range where he needed it here tonight. And Roberto Duran has tagged him almost with a left and right of equal ability. There you see a left to the body and a right to the head.
9 out of every 10 boxing experts that were polled before this fight said that Davey Moore would be the winner. And they are surprised right now looking at this.
Now, of course, to amplify Al's comment, Magano has come up with 2 warnings to Davey Moore in this, the 7th round. You can see the blood streaming down the face of the champion now. Look at Roberto Duran just kind of saying, hey.
He sneered at Davey Moore and said, that didn't hurt.
A left hand by Duran sends Moore reeling back to the ropes. Duran looks a little tired. He wanted to just catch his breath there for a moment.
And Davey Moore is just so fatigued.
Davey Moore has now walked into the office of Roberto Duran and is paying the heavy taxes right now. Closing in on the 32nd mark of round 7, and Duran has Moore definitely in trouble here in the 7th round. Left hand to the body.
Duran putting his punches together so well, just ripping shots to the body and the head of Davey Moore.
Moore gets that right over the top. Now the right on Moore is down. A left right, a big strong right sends Moore to the canvas. Moore slowly to get to his feet. He staggers to his feet. Magana gets the count up to 8. Moore said yes, he's all right.
Can't see out of his right eye.
Closing moments of round 7.
There's a cracked jaw.
I've seen Roberto Duran send Davey Moore
busted up in the body.
Canvas in there.
And he wants more action. He wants to defend his title.
Seconds of the round.
Duran goes in the wrong corner.
And Duran at the end of the round has gone to the wrong corner.
Roberto Duran, I guess, forgot where he was supposed to go, but he didn't forget anything in the ring. Just ripping Davey Moore to the delight of this packed house at Madison Square Garden.
The road map's not in pandemonium here. The crowd in pandemonium maybe here at Madison Square, as you see Davey Moore really being worked on.
Well, we will see in the last round the knockout, the overhand right by Roberto Duran. He's done much to set
his mouth guard over.
And you are looking at
to his right side.
Beating Davey Moore. And there, Leon Washington in the corner was working with Moore, trying to see what he could
beautiful.
do.
He's faint with his left.
You have to wonder if Moore will come
came
out.
over the top with his right.
You see some various angles of that powerful right hand of the challenger, Roberto Duran.
You can't get more textbook than that. That was beautiful.
Ceremonial seat on the end of his pants. And now the bell to answer round 8. And Roberto Duran may be smelling blood here for the 8th round. Moore, a beaten and battered man at this moment. Most of Madison Square Garden on their feet. The pride of Panama, Roberto Duran. The man from the Bronx, Davey Moore, battle in the 8th round, but it's been Duran's fight.
Oh, good punch under the heart thrown by Roberto Duran.
Davey Moore trying to fight back, but Duran has it all left.
This one could be over shortly as Moore continues to reel around the ring with that big right hand of Duran, the biggest weapon of the night.
Okay, at this point, you can consider throwing in the towel.
And the body work continues from
Moore is completely done. He has absolutely nothing to offer. He's only surviving at this point.
Moore just looks beaten. You have to wonder if Magana might step in and stop this fight.
He looked into his eyes there on that last clinch and break. Was satisfied with all.
Yeah, you can definitely stop this fight right now. This fight needs to be stopped.
And this one is almost over in the 8th, it appeared.
Especially when you're in there with a fighter like Duran.
Right now, Moore in all kinds of trouble, and Duran just ripping shots.
Roberto Duran has beaten Davey Moore to a pulp here through 8 rounds. Davey Moore,
this fight needs to be stopped now.
To hang on, but that may be the illustration how the fight has gone. Hanging on by Davey Moore.
Moore is just so fatigued, so hurt.
Each punch that Davey Moore is receiving now will live with him for the rest of his life.
Him in there at this point.
He just
cannot defend himself.
Ernesto Magana, the referee, looking at Moore. Look at the right hand.
Not stopping.
Moore is out on his feet. Moore is literally out on his feet. Duran keeps pounding away.
You can see Jose Torres in the foreground.
Trying to keep on his feet.
He was the commissioner. He's urging this referee to stop this fight.
Steps in and this fight has now been
the crowd went nuts.
No protest from Davey Moore. Finally, Ernesto Magana.
Everybody around me was screaming for this fight to be stopped.
And the Madison Square Garden crowd simply erupts.
And this is Roberto Duran's birthday party.
What is a shocking win over Davey Moore.
The new junior middleweight champion again, Roberto Duran. There you see a beaten and battered former
I'm Scrapbookboxing. He's here with a Forgotten Fisticuffs series. All great fights and all great fighters will never be forgotten on my channel. 100 years of World Championship fights. It was a pleasure relieving this fight between Roberto Duran and Davey Moore. WBA Junior Middleweight Championship belt was on the line.